Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving straight into the medical truth behind a deeply rooted, honestly, highly stressful cultural anxiety. We're looking at a topic that causes immense psychological distress, yet it's so rarely discussed with clear, objective science. My goal today is to empower you with pure, unfiltered medical facts, completely stripping away the cultural baggage. So let's break down exactly what's happening biologically so you can finally separate fact from fiction. Let's get right into it. Does masturbation kill your sperm and cause permanent infertility? It's incredibly common to hear this fear. For a lot of guys, this isn't just a passing thought. It's a profound source of guilt and anxiety that they literally carry for years. It's this unspoken fear that their past habits have permanently ruined their future. Well, we are tackling this head-on today. And what the medical sources reveal, it might just completely change how you view your own health.
Section 1. The Sperm Depletion Myth. Generations have passed down some incredibly detailed myths about this. Many people genuinely believe that masturbation leads to complete infertility down the road, or, bizarrely, that it somehow dictates the gender of your future baby, like leading specifically to only having female children. There's also this vivid, almost cinematic belief that the habit weakens the sperm so much that they physically lose the battle with the egg. If you've ever worried about these things, hey, you aren't alone. These are widely held beliefs, but, as we're going to see, they are completely ungrounded in medical science.
Section 2. The empty tank theory.
In a lot of cultural conversations, the male reproductive system is incorrectly compared to a steam engine. The thought process basically goes like this. Your seminal vesicles and prostate are like a tank holding a finite amount of steam. Once you release it, boom, the tank is empty, and your lifetime stock of sperm is permanently depleted. It's a very mechanical, rigid way of looking at the human body, and honestly, it feeds directly into the panic that every single act is just draining your life force.
Okay, let's actually compare masturbation and intercourse. Biologically speaking, if you ejaculate and then do it again within an hour, whether through intercourse or masturbation, your sperm volume and count are absolutely going to be temporarily lower the second time around. The stock that was immediately available in the seminal vesicles has been released, so naturally the very next immediate release has less volume. The medical response of the body is exactly the same in both scenarios.
So, the absolute crucial point here is this. Temporary depletion is completely normal. Your body is a factory, not a finite storage tank. It's constantly producing more. The method of ejaculation does not uniquely kill or harm your sperm. Masturbation doesn't possess some magical destructive quality that intercourse lacks. Biologically, the human body just doesn't differentiate between the two when it comes to the temporary lowering of immediate sperm volume.
Section 3. Risks of aggressive habits.
The medical source uses a pretty striking analogy here, describing overly aggressive physical habits as acting like a wild animal or jonglion kitera. You see, the danger doesn't actually lie in the biology of ejaculation itself, but rather in aggressive, harsh friction.
Let's map this out clearly. Step 1. That aggressive friction, acting without care, causes physical injury or tiny wounds to the urethra. Step 2. Those wounds are prime real estate for bacteria and they become infected. Step 3. It's this infection, the secondary medical complication, that can actually negatively impact your overall sperm quality. So it's the physical trauma and the resulting infection that cause the medical issue, absolutely not the biological act of ejaculation itself.
To put your mind at ease, normal, moderate frequency, say 1 to 2 times a week, carries absolutely zero negative effect on your sperm health or your future fertility. It is biologically equivalent to a normal frequency of intercourse. The medical science is very, very clear here. As long as you're treating your body normally and not causing physical injury, there is no harm being done.
Section 4. The abstinence testing mistake. Now what's really interesting here is the number 14, 14 days. Because men are so terrified of that empty tank myth we just talked about, when they're asked to provide a semen sample at a clinic to test their fertility, they often try to game the system. They abstain entirely for up to 2 weeks, thinking they're building up their strength and stockpiling their sperm to get a better test result.
But contrast that immediately with the actual medical recommendation for abstinence before clinical testing. 3 to 4 days, not 2 weeks, just a few days.
And here is the testing paradox that causes so much unnecessary heartbreak. If you abstain for 2 weeks, your sperm quantity might look normal or high, but your sperm motility, which is their ability to move and swim effectively, drops significantly. They literally become weak. But if you follow the medical standard of 3 to 4 days, both quantity and motility are totally healthy. So what happens? A guy abstains for 14 days out of pure fear, goes to the clinic, and gets a test back showing weak, low-motility sperm. He immediately looks at that test and thinks, oh no, the myths were right, my past habits ruined me. He falsely blames masturbation for his poor results, when in reality, it was the 14 days of forced abstinence that degraded the quality of his sample.
Section 5. The final medical verdict.
First, there is absolutely no link between normal masturbation and permanent infertility. None. Second, it has zero impact on whether you'll have a boy or a girl. That is pure myth. And finally, there is no medical reason whatsoever for the guilt, the shame, or the self-blame, what the source refers to culturally as lanat malamant. You do not need to curse yourself or live in anxiety over a totally normal biological function.
So, what does this all mean? Are you ready to let go of the cultural myths and trust the medical science? We've seen how physiological metaphors like the steam engine create this false panic. We've seen how misunderstood lab protocols lead to false confirmation of those same fears. The science is incredibly clear, and it is entirely on your side. It's time to replace that heavy anxiety with solid, structured understanding. Thanks so much for joining me in this explainer, and remember, keep questioning what you hear until you see the facts.